Welcome back to another episode of the We Love Gaming podcast. I'm your co-host, Godly Sovereign, and along with me today is Mark Araya. How you doing today, my man?
Hey, what's up, man? Doing good. I was gonna say happy Friday, but happy Saturday, I guess.
Happy Saturday. Yeah, man. How's your whole weekend been going?
So far so good, man. Just my daughter wakes up pretty early on Saturday, so just been playing with her. Made breakfast. My daughter's been eating solid food, so we gave her some eggs and some blueberries and stuff. And yeah, man. So far so good, man. Can't complain. It was kind of hot yesterday, but it seems like it's cooling down a little bit today. So
Yeah.
so far
Yeah.
so good, man. How's your day and weekend going so far?
It's been going good. Just been chilling, playing some more Elden Ring, trying to see if I can get towards the end, but trying to collect like as much stuff as I possibly can. That'll help me for like the new game plus and whatnot. So right now I'm getting my ass beat by the black knife Tish or whatever. So I'm just trying to figure out that battle to get that together. But yeah, man,
How
just
how far are you in the game? What boss? What's like the last major boss you killed?
I've gone to Wendell or whatever. I forgot what it's called. Um, Lyland Wendell
Oh, okay.
thing. Yeah, like that. Right by the Erd tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've gone up there. I don't
Yeah.
think I've been in the land of the giants
Yeah,
yet.
that's next. That's next, dude.
Okay, yeah. So, so I'm up there. I didn't finish everything because, I know I was missing, where to get the black teas from. So I ended up going like a whole different direction and going towards the city of Window or whatever. And so I tried to turn back around so that I could try to head up to that little plateau, to get the black knife tish. So I'm literally up there just to try to get that for right now, and then I'm going back to Lindell so I can try to beat that boss up there and then progress through and stuff like that. But I have a lot of stuff, you know what I mean. So I'm doing pretty decent. I was getting my ass beat by Astral, dude. Like I just couldn't do enough damage to Astral. And the only way I was able to beat him is I was finally able to just like I was sitting there doing some stuff on my computer, and then I finally saw a couple of summons, so I was able to pull them in, and so they were able to cause enough aggro to be able to go in. Because I don't know what the deal is, but like most of my ashes don't get enough aggro for me. I hit it, and I hit the boss, and it immediately turns towards me and wants to try to take me out. And it's just like, I'm playing a mage, so I'm trying to hit shit from afar. It's like damn, just pull the aggro. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. There's an item for your spirit summons.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember the name, but it kind of draws aggro, so it helps with the aggro issue. So I would recommend getting that item. I'm drawing a blank on what it's called,
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna have to figure it out, man. I'm gonna have to
but
Google it.
but I don't use that item. But on my I use the mimic tier. But on my quick slots, I use bombs. I don't personally use them, but I just put them on my quick slots, like poison darts, bombs, so that once I pull out my mimic, I'm a
Mhm.
melee build. But he'll start throwing the poison darts and the bombs, so he'll always get aggro. So
Oh, because the mimic has all the stuff that you've equipped and
yep.
whatnot. Nice.
So I just put
That's
all
fun.
my consumables on my bar, and he's just like, because I don't personally like throwing bombs, and poison darts are kind of hard to aim, but your
Well,
mimic is just like headshotting people like. Whew. So
yeah, the weirdest thing that I've had though is that like when you throw them, like I immediately get poisoned by throwing it. And I'm like, what the fuck is the point of it? Like
uh,
all of those things, the only thing that doesn't hurt me is like the fire bombs. But if I do like the rot, if I do the poison or the deadly poison, like I'm poisoned immediately just throwing them, and it just doesn't make sense. I'm throwing it like 10 feet out that way, and
yeah.
I'm poisoned just because I had it in my hand. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know how those little things work, but on the mimic tier, he don't get poisoned, so he's doing it right, you know.
That's smart, you know, to give him like all of the other shit that might affect you or whatever, and then throw him out there into the fight to help. You know, that would be nice. I wish I could use something like the Mimic Tier or just any summons while I'm fighting the Tish, because that would be able to help instead of trying to like
That's right. I forgot
do
all those chamber I don't know what you call them, but there's a couple
little circles on
bosses,
that.
the circle summon ones. Yeah, you're just one on one, so those are kind of fun.
Right, yeah, and all the other ones I haven't had a problem with beating them one on one. You know what I mean? Especially with like my magic and whatnot. But
Yeah,
this one, like that sucker is like steady dodging like left and right, and he covers ground quick, so
yeah,
it's hard to like get away from him. You know, with all his little special moves and stuff like that. I need something that's gonna like proc his stagger or something like that quick, so I can just unload on him or whatever. And
yeah.
I've been using the Comet of Azor has been really helpful
Oh,
with taking down bosses, you know, even just with like a full flask and just going in on something. But this guy, he just won't stay still. You know what I mean? It's he's just like moving. He'll just move out the way, and you can't
that's
move while you shoot it. That's one of like the downfalls of having a mage build is that you just can't like move your
yeah,
spell while you're using it.
right. That's that channel, right? It's like that long beam. Is that the
Yeah,
comment?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
that's
Kamehameha.
that's a pretty cool ability. I know they nerfed it a little bit. It used to be like broken. You can just
Yeah.
delete bosses with it. But isn't there
Right.
like a little item you can break and it like removes the FP cost of items temporarily?
It's the flask, the physic that you can do. Hey, Blue.
Or and something. I thought
Um,
there's like a little shard you can break and it removed FP consumption for like a short time.
that one I
And
don't know, but I do know that as long as you do the Erd tree that's kind of over by the fire manor, there's a the tiers that you can get that you can mix in there that will eliminate all FP consumption for about like 30 seconds or so. And so you're able
gotcha.
to drink that and then just do a Kamehameha and blow whatever it is away as long as it stays still. But the moment it moves, if it doesn't come back into the stream or something like that, you know, it's like pointless. And then you could like stop your shot and try to fire off again, but you know, the potion is gonna be gone. I kind of wish that there was like more drinks you could do in the physic, but you know, I guess it would be a little too OP if
Yeah,
that was the
those are
case.
cool. I always just use the plus strength and the plus stamina.
Mm.
But I recently tried the like the bubble, and that's kind of a cool little shield. You know, one of the tiers gives you like some protective bubble.
Oh, okay. I haven't checked that one out. That might be something I have to drink in order to fuck with with Tish. But it
Yeah,
does it only save you from like one hit or it saves you
it
from
depends.
time?
Like maybe two attacks. I think it depends on the damage, but
Mm.
for like weaker bosses, it could be a couple hits. So
Oh, okay.
it just puts a nice bubble around you, and
Mm-hmm.
you know you can just absorb a couple hits. So maybe check that one
Oh,
out.
okay. Yeah, for sure. I think there's like a war cry or something like that that I heard of that I might want to try where you basically commit seppuku and you like stab yourself through your body with like your sword and then you pull it out and then you ignite flames around you and the flames catch fire to
Mhm.
anybody that it's around and it procs for, you know, constant you know, time damage over time or whatever. And so I've heard that there's like a wicked combo out there where you can just like proc two things and then like walk by somebody and light them on fire. So I might end up trying to find that and see if there's something that I can use with that. But it might require more faith than what I have. I've been putting all my shit into
Intelligence.
mind and
Mm.
intelligence. Yeah. So but yeah,
Yeah,
man.
but that Lindo place is dope, dude. I would recommend like getting everything,
Mhm.
because there's a point in the game where that area is completely changed for the rest of the game. So
Oh,
if
okay.
you if you miss things, you may not be able to get them later.
Definitely miss them. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been trying to go through the majority of the areas and clean them out and whatnot. So hopefully I'm able to get everything, but I might look at a guide or something like that and see if there's anything that I might want to keep my eye on that I might have missed or something like that before I finish off the area.
Yeah, but the fire giants, I mean the giants area is pretty dope.
Mm.
Um, that was the first boss that was kind of a pain for me, the fire giant.
Huh?
Um, but you know that
Is
was
it
a
like
that was
a giant with a fire sword, or he's on in flames?
it's just a big ass giant who throws fire at you.
Fireball. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
for
it's just
sure.
kind of a pain. But that boss is pretty fun. But I'm pretty impressed with all the bosses in the game. They really did an amazing job at making them feel different, not copy and paste from you know from each other. They
Yeah.
all have pretty relatively unique mechanics. Um, some of the scenery is awesome. I don't know if you fought the astral beasts yet, but those fights are really cool.
Oh, you're talking about once you light all of those
The
pillars.
blazers.
Yeah, yeah, all those blazers, and then you fight those. No, I haven't fought one yet. So
Yeah, there's two. There's one in Nakrum and then one in the
the next,
previous
yeah,
river, in
right,
the
right, right.
first river. But those ones,
Sulfur or whatever.
yeah. So that was a spirit summon that I used a lot. At first, it was the ancestral spirit
Mhm.
because it was an archer who shot like a really powerful bow, and then if people rushed him, he pulled out like melee axes. So
Oh,
before I got
okay.
the mimic tier, I used that spirit summon like a lot.
Hmm.
So that one's pretty
Yeah,
good.
dude, I don't know what's up with those freaking hunters, man. But they're when they pull back that bow and then get
Yeah,
that blue tick on it, them suckers fucking like home. Like I couldn't dodge those shits, and I was just like through that area. I was just trying to run through it on my horse, but I'd always get pegged like twice and be down. So I was like, man, you gotta kind of take this area on foot, and then just I could just throw like two magic spells, two glintstones at it, and they go down. But I was just like, that's so annoying. Like
yeah.
they just hit you from like so far away on point.
So yeah, that exact guy is what you get as an Ash summon. So
Oh, once you beat those ancestral beasts?
mhm, yeah,
Okay.
so that shit homes like it shoots from far, dude. So
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely gonna try to figure something out. I really want to get Tish so that I can use him because I've heard he's still wicked good and whatnot,
yeah,
even after the mimic nerf and all that. So
yeah,
but
dude,
yeah, man, just gotta figure him out, dude. But
for
yeah.
sure, for sure.
But yeah, man, let's go ahead and get into the show. We got a few things to talk about. We have some Witcher news, some a lot of PlayStation news. We have some stuff about Spartacus, some more information about Spartacus, and then as well, Sony's acquired a whole nother studio. So, this one's a little lightweight, but yeah, let's get into the intro.
I love Jimmy.
Guys, this is episode 93 or 90 something. I think 93 or 92, something like that. But yeah, man, like I said, a few things to talk about here. We'll start off with CD Project Red and the new Witcher game. This one they've confirmed that it's in development, and surprise, surprise, they're using a different engine. They're going to try to use Unreal Engine 5. Um,
Nice.
They've been using, I think, like some red engine or something like that they've developed. Kind of like how Bethesda has used their own engine and whatnot. But I'm thinking that because of all those issues that they had with their previous title, Cyberpunk, they decided to try to do something different. So it looks like they've tried to team up with Epic Games to utilize their engine and try to correct some of the issues that they had on the previous launch and hopefully not repeat the same mistakes, man. So, what do you think about this?
I think it's awesome that they're going to Unreal 5. Like you said, they used Red Engine for Witcher 2, Witcher 3. Um, but yeah, Unreal 5, awesome engine. We saw how amazing things look. And from what I heard, it's relatively easy to develop in it. So, that's awesome that they're moving forward with it.
Yeah,
Um, I'm pretty excited for The Witcher. I never beat The Witcher 3, but it was always a game that I loved. I loved The Witcher in general.
right.
I just wish that their combat was a little better. The combat to me was always so clunky in this game, like changing between signs and your combat and throwing your bombs. It always felt a little clunky to me.
Yeah.
Um, but the world is amazing, and I hope that they succeed with this and they don't have another launch nightmare like Cyberpunk. So
Yeah, for sure. It's it's interesting that they go to this. I mean, I think they announced before that after Cyberpunk they were gonna go back to The Witcher. I'm not sure if that was before or after um Cyberpunk took a shit dive, but um you know, as far as this one goes, I don't know if this is like The Witcher 4, where it's following like another story of Geralt. I know that they said like a while back that Witcher 3 was the end of Geralt's uh saga or whatever, that they wouldn't be continuing his story, that it was done. But I mean, who knows if that could have changed after everything that happened with Cyberpunk. They might just go back to the trusty, and pull out some more stuff with Geralt. But
hey,
it does say like in saga, so
is Siri still alive at the end of Witcher? I don't. I never beat it, so I don't know. But does she
yeah,
survive?
yes. Yeah, Ciri's still alive.
Okay, so maybe it's a game of her.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe it is. I wouldn't mind if it was with her, or if they just gave us like a whole new character, to go through, and then we like come across Siri or something like that, later down the line. That'd be cool. And just kind of like give us a whole new uh protagonist, and whatnot. That'd be pretty.
Because I know the book. There's several books, so hopefully there's a lot of material they have to go off of. Because I
Yeah.
know they got the rights for it for pretty cheap, so they're smart. Keep developing Witcher games.
Yeah, they did say that their Cyberpunk 2077 I think like their DLC or something like that, something that they're coming out with later, is still going to be on the Red Engine. And I'm thinking
Oh,
that maybe that's because of like coding or whatever, so they won't have to like transfer anything or convert anything like that. But yeah, so that's interesting. Hopefully, they keep going and doing better as far as the cyberpunk stuff goes. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this one's gonna look, because Unreal Engine 5 was looking amazing
yeah,
before.
it was. But I think this means though, with the Unreal Engine 5, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's gonna work on last gen systems.
Mm,
I think it's only compatible with
newer
Xbox
gen
Series
stuff.
S with the latest gen. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the comments below, let us know.
Mm,
But it's my understanding that Unreal Engine 5 is only going to be for next gen. So that'll definitely help with some of the issues they had with Cyberpunk with the last gen compatibility issues. So you know that sh- that
yeah.
should that should uh that should be good.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for the point where we can finally get to where we don't have any of the last gen systems supported, So whether that's um, a combination of Sony finally releasing their PS5s and making them available, on the shelf consistently, or whatever. But I'd like to see where they're not catering to the old gens anymore, and they're just everything is pure next gen. You know what I mean? I feel
Yep,
like maybe the production will be a little bit of a higher quality, but you know, uh,
for
but
sure.
yes. So on to the next topic. PlayStation acquires Haven Studios. So this is a studio that was created about a year and some change ago by a developer named Jade Raymond. I guess he was used to be on Ubisoft, EA, and Google. So maybe he was with Stadia at some point. But but yeah, so Helmst, the guy in charge of PlayStation Studios, um, I guess he was in talks with the studio a while back, and they had like some type of a partnership to kind of help get their studio together, with maybe giving them some money or whatnot to start their new IP and whatnot. And maybe they gave him like a secret showing or something, but whatever it was enough that Helms was like, hey yo, like let's not play no more games. We're just gonna, buy you outright and bring you on as part of the team or whatever, instead of, you just being like the Schmagigans group or something like that. So um this is supposed to be a multiplayer game, and it's a brand new IP, and whatever it is, they, Helms seems like he's only in it for the pure profit, right? Like he's not really just looking for like, oh, that's like a niche cool game, we'll put out there, whatever. He's definitely only trying to make money from these games, and so this game seemed like it was, uh, enough of a good investment that he was gonna put his chips in on it. So, what do you think about Haven Studios, man?
So the multiplayer game got me a little worried
Mm-hmm.
because normally for multiplayer games to be successful, they're on all systems, they're cross-platform, cross-play, cross-progression, like all these awesome free-to-play games like Apex, Fortnite, War
Right,
Zones. So if they're going after that kind of free-to-play title to make a lot of money, although PlayStation is going to own the studios, it's probably going to have to be on every system to be really, really successful.
right,
So that was the only red flag that came in my head because multiplayer games, you want a lot of players. You don't want to be like Battlefield 2042 where there's more people playing a 5-year-old Battlefield game than the latest Battlefield. Multiplayer
yeah.
games need to have a lot of players, a thriving community. So luckily, PlayStation has a lot of fans, has a lot of consoles. There's tons of PS4s out there. So, I think for this game to be successful, it has to at least be on the PS4 and the PS5, and hopefully even be on other platforms. But it is pretty exciting, to hear they are getting more studios because they need to. I mean, they need to fight with Microsoft buying everything. So it's pretty awesome to hear. But only time will tell to see what this game, how it turns out. But I'm pretty pumped to see a trailer or something. Was there any was there any information on the game, like any trailer or anything that they gave
They
so far?
they haven't announced shit yet. They just announced that the a while back that the studio was started, and that there was like some commingling or whatnot with Sony, but they have not shown anything from it yet, which is surprising. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't even have like a buzz or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So, this is solely off of the reputation that Raymond has in the gaming industry. Amongst those people that know the exact work that he's done and whatnot, and his team, and and whatever they've shown Sony, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if they had like some secret demo or something like that, or he came through and saw the progress, which I'm sure he did, right? He had to know, what he was purchasing or whatnot. It seemed like it was good. I'm definitely like you, about a successful game like that's a multiplayer. You're definitely gonna need it to cross all branches, and eventually even make it to the Nintendo Switch or something like that. But it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if this is one of those games that Sony was talking about. That they wanted to release like six or so games that were multiplayer games that were coming down the pipeline that were going to be like live service games or whatnot. Um, I don't know if there is a game that's like a live service game, or that's like a multiplayer game that can solely survive on one console and be great. Like you're saying, I think you definitely have to have multiple consoles for it to be on, and possibly have crossplay in order for it to really succeed. But I'm definitely interested to see if, hopefully, since this announcement of the purchase, if maybe a couple of months down the line, we're gonna actually see like some type of a trailer or something like that, for what they've created. Or maybe um like how PlayStation did like a welcome to the family banner, and they had like the specific character of each of the studios, like that one, their main character or whatever that they have for their IPs. maybe they'll have one of those on the banner. Maybe we'll at least see like the main protagonist or a protagonist, and get some type of idea like that. But yeah, I mean, pretty much it's all in the dark right now. Just kind
Yeah,
of trying to find out what's coming
yeah.
next.
I know one thing in the article that they mentioned was it was going to be a game that people were going to enjoy for many years to come. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going
That
to
live
be,
server shit.
yeah, it's going to be like something like a Destiny kind of game, I assume. With that comment, they said it was going to be like a changing world. So maybe it's going to be like a looter shooter kind of game.
Mm.
Um, you know, uh, I think that could potentially not be a flop just on one system. But if it's something like a Apex or a battle royale kind of game, it's definitely going to be need to be on everything. But with that comment, maybe it's a looter shooter type of game. But only time will tell. You know what I mean? Maybe when they're saying multiplayer, it's going to be like a No Man's Sky, which you could play by yourself, but you can also play multiplayer. So I don't know. We're really in the dark with this one.
Yeah, for sure. If it's definitely a game that doesn't solely dedicate all of its time to multiplayer, if there's like a single player um, game on there or whatever, that might help it a bit. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Because Sony seems to like really excel in their single player games. So if they have like a single player, but it allows you to play with like multiple people, you know what I mean, on like some I don't know, Fallout 76 type shit or something like that. You know what I mean? Then maybe that would be something that would be really nice. But yeah, I mean, they're planning on updating it like crazy. It being part of the PlayStation Studios family now, it's able to call in help from like all these other studios, such as like Naughty Dog and stuff like that. So I mean, if there's like any pieces of the puzzle that need to be found, they've got help.
yeah.
And
Hey,
so
but going back for a second to the previous topic, when I said about Unreal Engine, I just thought about Fortnite. Fortnite does use Unreal Engine 5, so I guess it is possible that that
yeah, those
previous
previous
that
gens.
that the Witcher could work on previous gens because I totally forgot that
Yeah,
Fortnite is Unreal 5 and it's even on the Switch and everything, so it's possible.
yeah,
But
for sure.
but
Yeah, man. So definitely looking forward to seeing what Haven has to come up with. I still don't think that it's enough a big enough of a studio to make any kind of a an effect against Microsoft. You know what I mean? Like they've bought so many big studios and whatnot that everything that they get is just going to be like it's going to be minuscule compared to them. But it's nice to see that they're getting a larger repertoire of games. So
yeah,
it'll be cool to see it.
that's true.
And moving on to the last topic that we have for you guys, and this is like one of those topics that we've talked about before, but it looks like they've brought it up again, and it's PlayStation's Spartacus project. So this one is supposed to be basically as good of a competitor against Game Pass as Sony could possibly give. And I believe that it will be a combination of PlayStation Plus as well as PS Now. As we've talked about in previous episodes, that PlayStation Now has actually been starting to get some newer games, and like maybe one or two that were like a day one or something like that. So that's like a start. um I think that they were talking about kind of like a three-tiered system. So you'd have like like your $10 a month type of thing, like your $15 and then a $20 or something like that they were talking about in this article. So 10, 13, and 16, which is weird prices. But if you're paying $16 a month, that's not too bad, to be able to get PlayStation Plus, which is already really good, because they give you pretty decent games on a monthly basis, about like three or four or so. And then to have PlayStation Now, and then the only thing that scares me a little bit is the streaming service that they're putting in this as well. I don't think that anything that PlayStation has at this moment could compare to the streaming of Xbox XCloud or whatever. But how do you feel about this?
Hey, so initially I was really hyped for this, and once I found out that it does not, none of the subscriptions include first party day ones, to me it was just kind of a wrap at that point, because you want to subscribe to get the best games, in my opinion, right? You you just think of all the different subscriptions that are out there. You subscribe to things because you want that specific content that's exclusive to that. So if this
Right.
is not necessarily having anything exclusive to it, I really don't see the point. Like for me personally,
Right.
I think it needs day one, first parties to be even a competitor. Because right now it's just a cheap knockoff. Like it's not introducing anything that doesn't already exist. We already got PlayStation Now and we already got PlayStation Plus.
Right.
Like I'm not really seeing. I'm not really seeing it being a competitor to Game Pass yet.
Yeah,
So
it's nowhere near it. I mean, like you said, we have PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now, but I mean, the only subscription that they have currently, like a monthly subscription, is PlayStation Now. I mean, technically, you can get PlayStation Plus as a monthly subscription, but the smart person would just get a year, for $30 or something like that. 24 months, and then just keep getting, that. They have like year subscriptions. I think they do have a monthly, but it's a little too expensive. You can pay $30 for one whole year as opposed to paying like 10 or $12 or something like that for a monthly subscription. And like you're saying, like PS Now adds nothing really to the equation. So if if PS Now is not giving me any day one games, and I say any because even if it was to give us third party, right, that might still be kind of worth it, especially for the person who still hasn't invested into Game Pass, you know what I mean? Because they don't have an Xbox, they don't play it on the computer, so they're not interested in it. If PS Now at least gave the same or very similar to the same amount of day ones that Game Pass gives for third parties, then that might be, something valuable. But PlayStation's real bread and butter is their first party games. And if you're not giving us anything first party day one, then yeah, there's no allure, man. That's the whole allure of Game Pass, besides the fact that they got a bunch of random ass games that you can play. It's that their first party games are going to be available day one. So, like, ultimately, all you have to do is buy this subscription and you're set. Like, you get all of the biggest games on the Xbox, as well as, some of the other ones, you know what I mean? A lot of the bigger indies and stuff like that. But this, it doesn't. There's nothing that I'm looking at so far that tells me, oh, I should not pay the $30 for the PS Plus a year and then just get this subscription, which would end up costing me more. And
yeah,
I don't think they can get rid of the PS Plus card, the subscription card, unless they change, like they completely change the name, like they call it PlayStation Spartacus or whatever they're gonna call it, and they totally eliminate Plus and Now, and it's just like the tier Spartacus 1, 2, and 3. You know what I mean? And so now all of
yeah,
those cards are like worthless.
yeah. If I was Sony, I would just combine my Now with my Plus. Like this Spartacus, is this Spartacus name confirmed, by the way? Because it
I
to me
think
it
that's
didn't
just
even
the
confirm.
code.
Okay,
I think it's just a code name because it's not anything that's like catchy or whatever.
yeah, dude. But I don't like the tier system either. It's kind of, I mean, you can say Game Pass has some tiers as too. They have the console and then they have the console and PC. So I guess Game Pass
They
does
have
have
the
a tier.
PC, they have the console only, and then they have the console, the PC, and the X Cloud.
That's a good
You know
point.
what they're getting. So yeah, I mean
Yeah,
it's like three, to give you the ultimate and whatnot.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like I said, the now already exists, the plus already exists. You're giving us two things that already exist and just bundling them as one. There has to be something we're missing here. So I'm hoping next week when we get the official or when we get more details about this, I
mhm.
hope it's more than what we're because if it's literally just plus and now combined, there's no like why even offer this service? We can already get both. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. It just seems very unnecessary to me.
Yeah, for sure, man. I feel like maybe those six specific live service games will be all on these. And that's like their way of trying to sell it. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we made all these games that are specifically for the Spartacus service or something like that. And so if you subscribe to that, you have access to all these games, and that's the only way you can play them or something like that. You know,
Yeah,
maybe that would be something. I don't know.
do you remember when they started doing that game trial? Remember when they were offering game trials to PlayStation Plus members? You could play like I forgot certain first parties for a certain amount of
Like
hours.
hour, yeah, hour or two.
Maybe they'll continue that with this. Like you can
They did
play.
say that they would give you like an extended demo period or whatever of their games, but I don't know if that's like first party games. And can you beat it? You know what I mean? In that point in time, or is it just like they just give you like a large chunk that's a demo, and then they
Right.
allow you to save, and then you can buy the game. You know what I mean? If you want to.
Yeah, but unfortunately, this is nowhere near as awesome as Game Pass. Um,
Mhm.
so it's a letdown for me, man. This is really a letdown. I want those first parties, dude. I just that'd be cool to just have two subscriptions and then you get all the games. Like that'd be that'll be really convenient, for the player, So
Yeah, yeah, for sure, and it would ensure that a lot of people who have both systems would end up getting both. I mean, uh, there's a reason for PlayStation Plus right now because it allows you to play some of the multiplayer games and whatnot, and then it gives you those free games monthly. But it's like a great deal, at like 30 to 50 bucks. But when you start incorporating like a higher fee or whatever of $16 or so, or even just $10, a month, you know what I'm saying? That's 120 bucks or whatever. So it starts to get a bit more pricier then, you know what I mean? So you got to make it worthwhile in order for people to jump into that.
yeah,
So I hope I hope that it ends up being something worthwhile. You know what I mean? Because I would hate for them to attempt to try to push like random bullshit on us to try to get us to subscribe to this, and it's just like, nah, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like cutting off multiplayer services because you got to get this version. And you do, like, like I said, you can't just get the $30 card that'll just give you access to the online stuff, you know, for a whole year or whatever. And if you don't have online access, or access to that service, all of those games that we got from PlayStation Plus all those years, they're no longer working. You know what I
yeah,
mean? The moment you stop the service. So I mean, it's one of those things that's like kind of hooked you in that sense. That you have like this large library that you do not have access to if you don't have the service. But at the same time, you know what I mean? You wouldn't get,
yeah.
you wouldn't have.
That's a good point, dude. I just remember when it used to be. Remember, you got like a couple PlayStation 3 games, a couple Vita games, a couple PS4 games. That was kind of cool. Like I remember, I always thought PlayStation Plus was a great service. It offered a lot of value, but I feel like over time, the games that they're offering are kind of weaker. I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm really, really hoping that when they reveal more information about this week,
Mhm.
that we're getting more things that don't currently exist. Because if this is literally just a combination of the two, it's already a fail. I mean, it's already a bust in my opinion. Like we don't need this. We need those day one first parties. Because remember on PlayStation Now they did release Shadow Warriors 3, I think. So that was
Mhm.
kind of cool. That was cool. That was a day one. It wasn't an exclusive, but that's cool. I mean, I can respect that. But
Yeah, at
we
least they had one of those on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can respect that. So, but we need the first parties. That's why we have a PlayStation. You know, that's what separates PlayStation from obviously everything else. So we need those, man.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just it's going to be one of those things that's really going to set them apart. You know, if they come out with a service that's similar but doesn't even compare. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. But I see why they don't do it. You know, they want their box sales, and then they're just going to release the game later to their service so you can subscribe. So, but that's an old strategy, man. That's an old strategy. They got to get with the times. You know, all these services are how all these we have all these streaming services that exist. They're so profitable. So I mean, I feel like their strategy is kind of short term minded. You know, I don't think
yeah.
they're looking far enough. But it
Yeah,
is
I
what
mean
it is.
it would be super nice if they had you know, the service where you would get the console owners would get the games day one that are from PlayStation Studios, and then they release them all for PC. Like instead of doing like this, like 4 or 5 years down the line, we'll release it to PC. If they just release the games the same day as console to PC, then you would pretty much cover that basis of like, you know, game sales. You know what I'm saying? Like PC players who have never bought a PlayStation but love to buy the PlayStation games would just buy them for the PC, and then you would have all of your subscription services for everybody who wants the day one games, you know. And it's not like Xbox is releasing day ones every month. You know what I'm saying? So there's months where, you know, you're able to slide, you know, with not really giving out much, you know, because you're just allowing access to that. You know what I'm saying? So it would be like a win-win. You know, I think they would get a lot of money just from the PC people if they could get it, you know, day one on PC, and then
Yeah,
they would get mass subscribers just to get it on the console like that.
dude, I would love that, but I think at the same time, it would literally that would be like the nail in the coffin for Sony, because at that point, a PC can get all the Game Pass games, all the day one PlayStation games. Man, you don't even need consoles anymore. At that point, you know, you can just play everything on a PC, but you're paying each company their subscription. You know, so everyone's happy.
Mm.
But I would just play PC games at that point. I think.
Yeah, I mean I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, like you know, to get like a proper PC, you have to pay like, you know, almost like 3 G's or so. You know, you might get lucky with like 2 G's for a PC that can play them pretty well. But you know, to get like some really high quality graphics and stuff like that, you got to put a lot of money into a PC, you know, to be able to play it. And so you put like all this money into a PC. I guess you could think of it as an investment because like one console to rule them all. You know what I mean? And you've got your Xbox games, your regular PC games, and then now you've got PlayStation games that you can play on there. But it's just like I don't know. I like the convenience of having a PlayStation or an Xbox, you know, in my room that I can just turn on, put in whatever game. I don't have to worry about any specs that's changed on me or anything like that. Like it's ready to go the moment I put it in. My shit's not outdated ever, you know, unless they come out with another console or something like that. You know, I'm always good. So that's the only issue I have with that. And I mean, I guess you can play you know, hook your PC up to like a projector or a TV or whatever and play your game from the couch or something like that. But I don't know, it don't feel like the same to me.
Yeah, I like. Lately, I've been playing a lot of games on my laptop, so I like the convenience of a laptop sometimes.
Mm.
Um, and you know, we'll see the future of the Steam Deck. Because imagine one day, I'm just saying hypothetically, what if PlayStation did day one release things on the PC on Steam, and then they released even souped up Steam Deck? Man,
Mm,
that makes it even more enticing, you know.
yeah,
But
for sure.
that would be sick one day to have a Steam Deck with PlayStation games, Game Pass. Man, you're just missing the Nintendo games at that point, but you can just download the emulator, so you're good. You're good to
Yeah,
go.
are there Nintendo Switch emulators right now?
Uh, I don't think so.
Okay.
Nah. So that would still be, but yeah, man.
Yeah.
But we'll see, man. This news was just a bust to me, but I really hope that I'm wrong and they release something. There's some details we're missing here, and it makes this service worth getting. So
Yeah, yeah. I hope there's something behind the veil that they just haven't said yet. Because this isn't like an official announcement or anything like that. This is just like more and more rumors starting to ramp up about the subscription and stuff like that. So when you see the actual PlayStation commercial or announcement for this thing, if they're not pulling out all the bells and whistles for this thing, then yeah, it's gonna be a fail. Like people are gonna talk about it, but I think PlayStation knows it. I think they know it. So, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it if they made you wait like 2 weeks or something like that. You know what I mean? From a release, that might be still worth it. You know what I mean? Just wait 2 weeks. If you really want like a day one, then you'd buy it. But if you can wait 2 weeks, the game will come out. That would be nice. But it's wishful thinking. We'll see. Because I feel like all the moves that Sony's been making recently within like the last 2 years or so have all been about the moolah. So, and I understand they're a business and whatnot, but I kind of feel like if you're doing things for the customer, it'll all come back full circle for you. You know what I mean? If you're just giving so much good stuff to the customer, then you'd bring them in and keep them for a long time. I know when I'm treated right at the dealership, you know what I mean? That'll make me want to come back and get another car or get my car serviced here or whatever, as opposed to just going to some regular mechanic or something.
yeah, I mean that's a great point because I feel like in the past Sony treated people right, but lately it's kind of been feel like we've been feeling a certain way. But we'll see, man. I really, really, I hope there's things we're missing here, dude, because I really want a Game Pass equivalent on the PlayStation, dude. That would be sick. 2 weeks, like you
Yeah.
said, that's still pretty good. I think that might be some time duration as long as they have some system. Like, hey, they come to our service a month later, 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
That's still pretty good, I think.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because I mean, there's so many games out there that you can get. You know what I mean? Like in between the time. You know what I'm saying? Like just like Elden Ring and
Horizon.
Horizon. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I can get Elden Ring and then wait the month or two, until Horizon comes out, and then I have a chance to play that. You know what I'm saying? And I got the subscription. I didn't buy it, but they've got my subscription. So I mean, I think that's like a win-win
Yeah,
eventually.
man. Yeah, dude. So let's see. Well, I hope something like that comes.
Yeah,
That's still pretty good,
mm.
but it's still yeah. I feel like it's still not quite enough to be like a Game Pass killer, but that's
I don't
still
think
a Game
anything is
Pass.
gonna be a Game Pass killer. I don't think anything they could come up with could be a Game Pass killer. They would have to put as many games as the Xbox has. Like Xbox is putting mad like third party games up there for free, like day one. You know what I'm saying? Like they've got all kinds of games up there that you have access to play. So the library is so vast. And then, they're just adding the fact that their games, when they do come out, maybe every 2 or 3 months, will come out day one. And so that's like the extra icing on the cake. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'd have to like go back and look at PS Now's library and see exactly what they have in there. But if it's all like mad old shit from like 2017, you know what I mean? Like that ain't gonna cut it. You know what I mean? You need like multiple games. You need at least like 10 to 12 games a year that are like brand new coming out for that service in order for it to be worthwhile. So even if these third party games, these indie developers are doing a deal for Xbox and Sony to have them on their streaming service or whatever, that's cool. I'm totally cool with that. You know what I mean? If there was, like if Arcvale was available on Spartacus as well as Game Pass, like I'm all for that. That's fine. But
Yeah, like for example, is Miles Morales isn't on PlayStation now yet, but
mm,
the 2008 Spider-Man is. So
Oh, okay. So it's
so
not too far off, but I mean, it's you said 2008.
2018. Whenever
Okay,
the previous Spider-Man came out, that one's
right,
on
right.
PlayStation now. But
Okay.
Miles Morales is not on there yet.
And what
So
would be nice too is if they were giving you like, if you had the PS5, if they were giving you like the PS5 like upgrade, you know what I mean, type of graphics on there, instead of giving you like the PS4 version. You know what I mean? That would be nice
yeah,
too.
yeah. But I know from when I subscribe to PS Now, not all the games are able to be downloaded. Some games you could only stream them, and some games
Mm.
when I streamed them, the max res I could stream them was 720. So I hope they can
Yeah,
fix out some of those issues. But like you said earlier, I don't think it's going to be as good as XCloud yet.
yeah.
One day it could be because their remote play is amazing and
Mm.
Xbox remote play sucks. But anyways, I think they need to fix some of the streaming or just let you download all the games. That'll be dope.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But all right, that is all we have for you guys this week. Appreciate everybody for coming through and clicking on this video. If you like what you heard, hit the like button. Comment how you feel about Spartacus and their different tiers. Do you even feel like they'll even come close to what Game Pass has to offer, or if it'll just be a dud regardless of what they do, just because Sony and they're just not going to add up to it. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see what they do announce in the coming weeks or whatnot. So, stay tuned for that. We'll definitely be talking about it. But until next week, we'll catch you guys later. Deuces.
See ya.
I love you, me.